So a few years back, I made a video laying out my watch collection. Now, some of you guys were supportive in the comments. Other people, not so much.
Okay.
And to be perfectly honest, I did get a bit of criticism from a friend of mine who's a watch collector. And he said, you know what? You built that collection way too fast. It's my bet that in a couple years, you're only going to have a handful that you're wearing. In fact, his prediction was you're going to have like 5 that you actually wear. My answer, as you can probably guess, was, no, you're wrong. I'm going to rotate through all these watches. Every day, I'm going to wear something new.
Pardon me, but that's bullshit.
Fast forward to today, that guy looks like a prophet because guess what? I've got 5 watches that I rotate through. 3 of those watches I wear probably 80% of the time. I've got 10 watches I've probably worn over the last year. And the reality is the majority of my collection just sits there. Now, does that mean I'm going to get rid of all of my watches except for those 5? The answer is no. I've got other watches that even though I don't wear them, they've got a special meaning to me. And I'll talk about those in this video. Oh, and make sure to stick around, guys, to the end of the video where I will reveal the latest watch in my collection. So let's start things off with the watch on my wrist. This is the Monta Triumph. And in case you haven't heard of Monta, this is one of those small niche brands. They're actually based out of St. Louis. I know both of the founders. We were in a mastermind together. But before that, I saw some great reviews about this company. I went over and just fell in love with the Triumph. Everything about this watch for me screamed perfection, beauty. I had to have it. Now, the movement is their Monta Caliber M22 self-winding mechanical movement with bidirectional rotor. Now, the hands are Swiss-made, rhodium-plated, diamond-cut, sword-style hands filled with super luminova. Now, as you can see, the watch I'm wearing right here does not have the metal bracelet. I went with the leather because I just loved the way it looked with the steel, with the blue dial. I just thought it was an absolutely beautiful combination, and that's what sold me. Having had this watch now for a few years, the only thing I would change up on what I like about Monta is I could simply order a bracelet. I wanted something to be able to change it up, but an absolutely beautiful watch, great customer service. They're not sponsoring this video, but just one of my favorite watch companies out there. Now, some of you guys may remember I also had a Monta Ocean King, and unfortunately that watch did not make this list because I lost it down in Mexico. Absolutely one of my, I wore that watch a lot. Now, this next watch did not make my top 5, but it did make the top 10, and that is going to be the Casio MTG B1000-1A. Now, this is a watch I would not sell. Absolutely love the functionality of it. It's a G-Shock. I have a lot of G-Shocks, love G-Shocks, and this one, at the time it came out, one of the highest end ones. Now, the only issue with it is the technology very quickly becomes dated. This one can connect to, I believe, radio towers. It also is solar powered, but you guys know that they're constantly making advancements. So actually, if you wanted to grab this exact model, the price has gone down significantly. I saw it was down like 40%. That being said, still like a $600 watch. At the time I got it, it was a $1,000 watch, but I didn't have to pay for that because it was a sponsorship. This watch, I took it whenever I hit the Rogue River with my family. If I'm going to be outside, I'm going to be just traveling quite a bit. I want something that is rugged, something that looks good. It's comfortable. I love all the tech features of it. It's a cool watch. Next up, we've got the Rolex Explorer, model number 214270. The Explorer with the black dial. This is one of my favorite watches, and I wear it quite a bit simply because it's so under the radar. It's a Rolex, but it doesn't scream Rolex. Most people don't even notice it on my wrist unless I'm, at a style or fashion event or a watch thing. But I like it because it's just elegant. It's understated. This is for me and could perhaps be the perfect watch, one that just does its purpose. You know what it is, people that are in the know what it is, but yeah, just absolutely beautiful, a masterpiece when it comes down to watchmaking. This is the watch that you put on, you forget's there, and you could easily wear this thing for years and never even think about it. Now, the reason I picked up this watch is I loved the name. I love the idea that this was made a year, I think, after Sir Edmund Hillary climbed Mount Everest. It was to commemorate him being an explorer, to bring in that line. And I just love the idea of exploring the world with my family, with my kids. Again, this is a watch that isn't going to attract attention, and it's something that I feel I can safely wear, not worry about getting ripped off my wrist. Just absolutely beautiful, timeless, one that definitely would be an heirloom, and I'm going to keep, and that's why it's in my top 5. Next up, we've got the Tag Heuer Monaco, and I will admit, of all my top 10, this is the least worn. That being said, There's just something about it. And I did wear it to a special event. I love wearing a watch occasionally on the right hand. There's just something about it. If you know the history, Steve McQueen, this was made for him. The crown is over on the left side versus the right side. There's just something unique about this watch. When I saw it, I thought it was really cool. And then whenever I had the ability to grab it, I did. And I'm happy to have it in my collection. I'm not going to get rid of it despite the fact that I maybe wear it once or twice a year. Absolutely beautiful watch. Now the details on the watch is it is a racing style. So you got the whole chronograph thing going along with the bold colors. The case is large and it wears large. It's actually over 14 millimeters thick. And I think that's what makes it feel really big. But going across, it's actually relatively small, 39. But because of the square shape, it does feel bigger than 39. Now it's got a folding clasp, and I do like on the band how it's got those racing holes right there in the leather. And what's interesting is throughout my collection, this is the only black band watch that I have actually in leather. I do have, rubber watches that are black, but in leather, this is the only one. All right, so the next watch in my top 5, another very utilitarian watch that I think you could just put it on, forget about it, and it would look great, especially with men with smaller wrists, is going to be my Tudor Black Bay 58. Now, Tudor has a lot of watches that I like, and in case you don't know the history, Rolex and Tudor, they have a shared history. They actually used to share some manufacturing facilities. So the quality is really there when it comes to Tudor along with the history. But in general, I find Tudor watches are just too large for me. And that's where I loved the Black Bay 58, because across, this one's only 39. A lot of Tudors, you're going to see 41, you're going to see 42, and they've got some just beautiful options out there. But this one just fit perfectly on my wrist, and the way the bracelet goes with there, this is steel, but it's polished. Ooh, it is nice. Again, timeless. And one of my favorite parts is the crown. Notice how it pops out there and it's got those concentric circles there for like protection as it goes out. Absolutely love it, because a lot of times, even on really expensive watches, you just see this little piece of metal sticking out. And I'm always worried that I'm going to break it, that I'm going to tear it off, something's going to happen. And this, it feels more robust. And when you rotate that bezel, just listen to it. It just sounds nice and it moves really smooth. Now, really quick, any Tudor fans out there? If so, smash the like button. Or maybe you like some other type of watch. Guys, smash the like button and let me hear from you down in the comments below. What are your favorite brands? Now, these next two watches are in my top 10. I'd never sell them for sentimental reasons. Not that I'm wearing this watch a lot, but the Yema Superman right here in bronze. So I took a trip to Mauritius with my son and with two people on my team, Yuri and Gavin. And we were presented these watches there. Now, if you know Yema, a French company, you know about the Superman, one of their classic, unique designs. It's a great watch. And I probably would wear it a bit more if I didn't have so many dive watches and the fact that I've still got a leather band on it. That being said, I love the bronze with that leather combination and right there with the blue dial. It's just a good looking combination. And I occasionally pull it out, but no, usually I just see it. It reminds me of diving off the coast of Mauritius with my son. He actually jumped in the water. I was throwing up on the side of the boat, but yeah, good memories, right? Next up, I've got the Seiko Prospex. And the reason this one is on the list, because when you see it on my wrist, it's a little bit large. I mean, it's a really, the Samurai, it's also called. It's a beautiful watch, just a little bit too big for me, hence why I don't wear it very often, but it's on this list because I liked it, or I liked the design of it so much. I ended up buying a couple others. So my son and actually Aaron Marino, I gifted them in black here, the Ion Prospex automatic dive watch, which I'm not sure if Aaron really ever wears it, but I do know that my son for the longest time wore this watch. And so for me to have a watch that is very similar, and for all three of us to have these watches, I mean, and I think for a lot of people that collect watches, what really makes them are the memories and the association, and it's a pretty powerful thing, and a reason I wouldn't get rid of this watch. Next up on this list, we've got the Rolex Datejust 41 model 126334. Now, the story behind this watch is after we had been doing Menfluential a few years, Aaron and I went into a store. I'm like, I want to get a watch to commemorate Menfluential and everything that we've done here. And that's exactly what I did. I realized, okay, I'm wearing suits at this event. I wanted to have a bit of a dressier watch. So this one right here had the Jubilee bracelet. It's also got that fluted bezel that has white gold on it. I mean, just an absolutely beautiful watch. Looking back, I probably should have known I wouldn't wear very often, but this still barely made it into my top 5. So this is, of the top 5, probably the one I wear the least in that that level. That being said, it is an absolutely beautiful watch. One that anytime I put on a suit, if I'm going to be going out to a father-daughter dance, this is the one I grab. It's the dressiest. Yes, I know it's got a steel band, technically not a leather band, but I just really like it. It's flashy, but not over the top. You know, because of the color, a lot of people just think it's silver or it's steel, but that white gold really does shine, and it's just a really nice, great looking watch. A lot of people go to a Datejust as their first watch, and I can see why, because it's so versatile and absolutely beautiful. And really quick, I should mention that I also occasionally wear my Apple Watch. Occasionally is when I'm working out. I do find that it does a good job tracking me, but I was very disappointed with the battery life. I didn't realize you had to charge this thing every single day. Come on, even my, Oura Ring, I can go a week without charging. But yeah, it just kind of drove me nuts. But I do use it as a tracker whenever I'm out running or if I'm in the gym and I want to be able to, get better readings, like tying all that stuff to my health. You guys get the point. Now, gents, before I reveal my number one go-to watch, the watch I wear the majority of the time, I wanted to reveal the latest watch in my collection. So you remember when I said earlier about how losing that Ocean King from Monta really sucked? It did. I bought it with my own money, almost $2,000. Well, a year later, I'm in a mastermind with the owners of Monta. And I mentioned that story. And for some reason, I thought maybe they'd seen the video. And I didn't mean to imply that they should actually send me a replacement, but they did. So Justin and Mike, I want to thank you guys. Really awesome. So right here, I'm opening it. This isn't the first open, but I have not worn this and I've not gotten it adjusted. But there it is, guys. And if you can't tell already, the presentation of Monta watches is second to none. I mean, I don't get this nice of a case with a Rolex. All right, gents, drum roll. You ready? Okay, this isn't going to be a surprise to a lot of you guys that know my channel, have watched my videos. My number one watch, the one I wear almost 50% of the time, is going to be my Rolex Yachtmaster. Model number 116621, and it's 40 millimeters across. It's an Everose gold with steel, and I love the combination. The gold with the steel, it's got a little bit of flash to it, but not over the top. And when I look at this watch, every time it reminds me of the story behind it. I picked this watch because I had my first $1 million year at Real Men Real Style, and it's a constant reminder of what is possible. As a kid coming from a trailer park, I'm not going to say that I dreamed of having a Rolex, but it was something that I thought, you know what, I want to have something nice. I want to achieve success. Every time I wear it, I'm reminded of what I'm capable of, and I just love it. This is something I look that I could maybe pass to my kids, that every time I wear it, it brings me a bit of happiness and joy and a reminder of what I was able to achieve once, knowing that I can do it again and again going forward. Now, gents, if you enjoyed this video, you're going to love this one. So I own over 500 fragrances, but these 10 are the ones that I wear. If you want to know what my go-to were, the ones I actually wear day in, day out, go over and check out this video. You may not be in the fragrances. Maybe you're looking just to get started. This video is going to help you because it's the ones that I truly love, despite having hundreds, which, I've got an addiction issue. I know, but hey, might as well make videos of it, right?